I used to live in a quiet countryside house with my grandparents during summer breaks. Their house had a small attic window that faced the forest. Every night before bed, I would look up at that window from the garden. It became a habit. One night, while taking out the trash, I saw something unusual. A woman standing behind the attic window, completely still, staring out toward the woods. Her features weren't clear, just a pale face and long dark hair. I ran inside and asked my grandfather if anyone was in the attic. He said no, the attic had been locked for years. He even showed me the key. We both went up there and the room was empty and dusty, as if no one had touched it in ages. The next night I saw her again. Eventually I stopped looking at that window, but one evening my little cousin said, "Who's that lady in the attic?" I felt my stomach drop. When I asked him to describe her, he said, "She watches me when I play outside." We stopped going to the house after that summer.
My sister and her husband had just brought their newborn home. One night she called me, completely shaken. She said the baby monitor, an old audio-only one, had picked up a strange voice in the nursery. At first she thought it was just static, but then she heard clear whispering, as if someone was talking directly to her baby. The words weren't fully audible, but she recognized one phrase repeated over and over. "It's okay now. It's okay now." She rushed into the nursery, but the baby was sleeping peacefully. No one else was in the house. Thinking it might be interference, they bought a new digital monitor. But a few nights later, the same voice returned, only this time it said, "Don't cry, I'm here." They had the house blessed, and the voice never came back. But to this day, she refuses to have a baby monitor in the house.
Back in college, I stayed at a small motel during a road trip. It was old but cheap. They gave me room 313. I remember checking in around 8 p.m., dropping my stuff, and lying down on the bed for a quick rest. That's when things got weird. I woke up, or thought I did, to find myself checking into the motel again. Same receptionist, same conversation, but now it was 8 p.m. again. Everything replayed exactly. I thought maybe I just dreamed it, but the loop repeated 2 more times. Every time, I'd wake up back at the front desk, checking into room 313. The last time it happened, I forced myself to stay awake and left the room immediately. I didn't even grab my things. I drove through the night and slept in my car. When I told the motel owner about it years later, he went pale. He said other guests had similar experiences in room 313, all involving some kind of time reset. The room has since been closed off.
I bought a beautiful antique mirror at an estate sale in a historic part of town. It had an ornate gold frame, slightly tarnished but elegant. I hung it in my hallway. The first time I noticed something odd was at night. As I walked past the mirror, I caught a glimpse of someone behind me. When I turned around, no one was there. It happened again the next night, and the night after that. Soon, I started seeing things in the mirror that weren't in the actual hallway. A figure standing still. A door slightly open that was actually closed. The mirror began to feel heavy, as if it was holding something in. One night, I walked past it and saw myself, but my reflection didn't move. It just stood there, staring at me, long after I had stopped. That was enough. I took the mirror down and stored it in the garage. The strange occurrences stopped immediately. A few weeks later, the mirror shattered on its own, without anyone touching it. I never bought antiques again.
My wife passed away in her sleep a year ago. We had been married for 37 years. For months after her death, I struggled with the silence in our home. I still slept on my side of the bed, leaving her side untouched. One night, I woke up suddenly around 2 a.m. I felt pressure on the other side of the mattress, as if someone had just laid down beside me. I turned over quickly, but of course, no one was there. but the pillow was indented, exactly the way it used to be when she slept there. I told myself it was in my head, grief maybe, but then it started happening regularly, always around the same time. Sometimes I even smelled her perfume, soft lavender and vanilla, the same one she wore for years. One night I whispered, "I miss you," and I swear I heard a whisper back, "I know." It never scared me. It felt peaceful, like she was just checking in, making sure I was okay.